Now who said what? Oh, that's so new. Royal voices with the business just for you. Yeah. What's going on, y'all? Y'all, what is going on? What is going on, y'all? It is your boy, KVNGJAY, and we are here for episode 17 of Royal Voices Podcast motherfucking season 2. Yes, y'all. I am here again for episode 17 of Royal Voices season 2, and this is the official podcast of Kvngdom. If you don't know what the hell Kingdom is, if you don't know what the fuck Royal Voices is, let me give y'all a quick breakdown. Royal Voices is the official podcast of Kvngdom, a creative hub for music, art, and fashion, a space where we uplift creatives in a variety of ways through networking, engagement, spotlighting, events, and a ton of other things. So to make sure that you don't miss nothing going on with Kvngdom, the podcast, all of that, follow us on our socials at kvngdom.co. That is Instagram and TikTok. Follow our podcast, Royal Voices Podcast. You tuned in now here on YouTube, but you can also follow us all Royal Voices Podcast, all one word, on Instagram and TikTok as well. Follow the kid, your host, KVNGJAY, on Instagram at _JAYTHEDON _ in the link tree in my bio. Got access to everything else I get involved in. Now, what's going on with y'all? I'm feeling good today. I'm feeling a little energy. Got a little life up today. You know what I'm saying? Got me some water and stuff. It's a vibe. We vibing. It's a blizzard going on right now. It's a lot going on. The world is just crazy, man. The world is truly crazy. But y'all, we have a lot to get into. I just feel like it's been so much happening. And I feel like that's been the case all year. 2025 has just been a blur. It's been a blur. It felt like a decade. It's just been a lot. Okay, so take a second. We're going to do a little breather. Breathe on out. Breathe on out. And breathe on out. Lock in with the kid on today. We finna get straight into our stuff. Y'all, this will be the second to the last episode for the season. For the season? Yes. So this is 17. We gonna stop at 18, which is the next episode, and that's the week of Christmas. So we gonna have a little vibe and stuff going on, because I'm celebrating Christmas this year, but I'm doing it in a way that's gonna actually support my community, my space, and my peoples, because I just feel like the world at this point in time is showing, if you don't got the backs of your people, I don't know what the hell you finna stand for. And to further my points, we gonna go straight into our political segment, y'all. As y'all know, I love doing my political segment intro, but the politics space not really the best fun stuff for me. However, we have a lot of things to get into. So I here in my notes have a few things. Y'all, just before I get into this segment, I think for next year, when we bring back season motherfucking 3, because we come back for season 3. I think I'm going to have to rethink this political thing, because so much news happens on a day-to-day basis with this current administration. Just so much OD, unprecedented, never before seen shenanigans. It gets ramped up by the day. It feels like it definitely gets more aggressive, blatant, authoritative in nature. And I just feel like all of the stories we've covered this year, including some of the ones today, continue with the same theme. And personally, I can keep y'all informed about things going on, but I just think I'm gonna have to integrate some things. King's hot takes will be coming soon to kind of just get into some of these things, but just for the space of politics, I'm gonna have to really revamp the way we discuss things, because I just feel like it's a lot, and I don't really know what to do, y'all. So with that being said, the first topic we'll get into today is Trump received ever FIFA Peace Award. Yeah, man. So let me put the sucker down, because y'all, I cannot. Y'all gonna be sitting here like, what the hell is this man doing? Put that down. You heard that right. Trump has received FIFA's first ever generated as of this year, as of like a month, not even a month, a week or two ago. FIFA gives Trump a peace prize and a departure from its traditional focus on sport. Now, if y'all remember a few episodes back, I did cover the fact that Donald Trump was, going for the Nobel Peace Prize and ended up losing. Because, a peace prize requires you to negotiate, foster, build peace. And I think Trump just thought because his name was affiliated with foreign relations, he was in the mix. So, yeah, he ended up losing that. And I guess FIFA is now here to give him his flowers. So, the article reads, President Donald Trump was awarded the new FIFA Peace Prize on Friday at the 2026 World Cup draw, giving the spectacle to set matchups for the quadrennial soccer tournament even more of a Trumpian flair. Trump, who had openly campaigned for the Nobel Peace Prize, had been heavily expected to receive the newly created FIFA prize. FIFA President Gianni Infantino, that's Infantino, Infantino, a close ally of Trump, has said he thought Trump should have won the Nobel for his efforts to broker a ceasefire in Gaza. In awarding the Peace Prize, Infantino told Trump it was a beautiful medal for you that you can wear everywhere you want to go. Trump promptly placed the medal around his neck. The certificate that Infantino handed Trump recognizes the U.S. president for his actions to, and I quote, promote peace and unity around the world. Infantino also presented Trump with a gold trophy with his name on it that depicts hands holding up the world. You definitely deserve the first FIFA Peace Prize for your action, for what you have obtained in your way, said Infantino, who spoke after a video was played that showed images of Trump meeting with world leaders from countries whose conflicts he has taken credit for resolving. I'm going to stop there and let y'all continue to go into those articles on your own and read further. You know when when you have kids, right, who go out in sports. Right. And I mean like Pee Wee League, the little kids, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, who go out and, they playing soccer. They playing football, they playing basketball, baseball, whatever. And you have a team that wins in one of those games. You often have parents of the team that may not have won who will go and celebrate their child, go and buy gifts and ribbons and mini trophies and little celebrations just to calm the egos, the sadness of their children for losing. And, in the space of participation trophies, it's always been a debate about, especially when I was growing up, because I think that's when I got to middle school, high school, this sense of getting acknowledgement because you tried, getting praise because you attempted became a thing, right? And it wasn't necessarily because you succeeded in what you attempted or even because you failed, but just simply because you tried. And that would get you a ribbon. That would get you acknowledgement. That would get you a shout out. I think we're seeing that in a presidential seating. We're seeing that with adults where you have a big ass narcissistic child who felt an award was deserved because he was affiliated in attempts to try to broker peace in spaces he didn't, one, succeed at, but two, in a lot of ways, globally, further worsened relations with other countries in relation to the United States, but also in relation to other countries among themselves. You get what I'm saying? I have military friends and people who have, I have discussions with when it comes to politics and stuff like that. And one consistent comment that I'm hearing from people serving right now, today, active right now, in various branches of the military and of the army and all that kind of stuff, right now, who are truly appalled at the way in which our administration is handling foreign relations and the shit show it's creating. So to give an award to somebody who didn't do any of the things you're proclaiming because he's a friend of yours is crazy. And I think we need to start getting an understanding of when things like this is happening, it condones, it sets a precedent, it sets a tone that you can do these things and be acknowledged. You get what I'm saying? The same way the way people have been uplifting and condoning this administration for all the crazy stuff that they're doing when it comes to ICE raids, when it comes to the fact that you have a 34-count felon, adjudicated rapist sitting in a space, when you have all of these leaders who are literally unqualified for any of the roles that they're doing on a countrywide level. You're condoning, you're setting a precedent for the people below you and people who aspire to be in spaces that they have no effort in. The fact that you have a felon for a president sets a precedent that in the future presidents can have a resume like Donald Trump's and still be in political office. You have people operating whole agencies and whole departments who've never had any slight connection to them, which sets a precedent that you don't even have to have the skill set, the knowledge, nor the understanding to operate things on a country level. You have people who are going to start acting as if they're deserving of things they haven't put the work, time, energy, effort in for. And somehow, some way, when that's actually happening, it's being affiliated with DE&I. That's a whole other topic. We ain't gonna get there right now. But this prize award is literally that, a participation trophy. If y'all seen the video of this man getting this little medal, he looked like a kid in the candy store. He was just so excited to be acknowledged. But y'all need to know who Donald Trump is. That is a narcissistic individual. And at the end of the day, he wants to feel like he's him. He wants to feel like he's unbeatable. Honestly, probably the best to ever do it. We're looking into it, I promise. Like that's his whole MO. And if he doesn't have that in reality, he will foster and he will build people around him to foster that illusion that he's doing great things. Instead of having people around him that holds him accountable, he has people around him that will gas up dumb shit, that will gas up bullshit, that will sit there in his face and you get what I'm saying? And again, that sets the tone. So I'm going to leave it there. I don't got a lot to get into when it comes to that. I just want y'all to understand getting acknowledgments for stuff you're not doing is not a win. When you are a little man, and that's this comment gonna carry through this podcast because I got more comments to get on some things. But when you a little person, and I don't mean a little person, but when you a little person on the inside, when you are a little person and you want to be so big, you want to be so in the forefront, when you a little nigga trying to be a big motherfucker, you are in the space of insecurity. especially when you're trying to force, distort all of these things to make you feel like you're him, like you're her, when you're not doing nothing to actually be him or to actually be her. This trophy is not new. We're seeing it with this ballroom that's unnecessary as hell. We're seeing this with the fact that he did that with the damn stimulus checks he gave y'all and put them stamps of his name on it. He a lot of things he wants to be remembered for. And unfortunately, I really do believe that man is a person who is fearful of death and fearful of and worried about being forgotten. But he will be really, truly immortalized, and I will give him that because he will be. And he will go down in history as one of the worst American presidents ever. One of the most vile individuals ever in the country, in this country's history. He's going down for all of the crazy shit he has done, and ironically, at the same time, getting what he wanted. So enjoy that trophy. I hope it makes you feel good. I hope it strokes your ego, and I hope you at least wash that badge. You at least wash that medal. You know, when you're wearing it everywhere, because you know the president for FIFA said it's meant to go everywhere. So when you're wearing it in the shower, when you wearing it in the car, when you wearing it on the plane for Air Force One, when you wearing it during speeches underneath your suit, hold on to that, because I don't think there's gonna be a lot more acknowledgments you're gonna get in that capacity. Next story. So y'all, next up we have Pete Hegseth. Whenever I see this man and whenever I hear him talk, he just reminds me of like the stereotypical drunken war veteran who just is just America, fuck yeah, like he's just very very, very macho man, toxic masculine macho man, and just, people like that. Now I'm saying this because I want y'all to understand this man is really a menace. And when I say crash out, like for real, I do feel like that energy is in him. I don't know if y'all have done any background into Pete Hegseth, the leader of the Department of War. And I keep laughing, not because I'm uncomfortable, because y'all, this is a key. The whole persona is like a child. Like, and I keep bringing up kids because y'all give me children. Like, y'all give me kid mentalities. But it's like he's a grown man who thinks he's just playing with little army toys. Like, like he's just playing with little army toys. So I bring him up today. I have an article here from NPR, which will also be linked down below, that the headline reads, Defense Department is reviewing boat strike video for possible release, Hegseth says. Now, this was released on December 7th. If y'all don't know what's been going on with these boats, the United States of America has been blowing up boats, right? And these boats, from the side of American defense, the claim as to why they're drone striking boats, they're saying that these boats are cartel boats. These boats are drug boats, and people on these boats are bringing drugs to the country. Now, I believe these are in Venezuela. However, the Venezuelans and Congress, who definitely are the ones who approve these kind of things, but aren't getting evidence that there is actually evidence of this, are believing these may just be innocent people that they're blowing up. And it's possibly that they're just fisher boats. There's really no defense that's, substantial from the U.S. government right now, because they don't have evidence that these boats are what they say they are. And I'm saying that because it's a lot of people who think that they got evidence that they bring drugs. There's no evidence. There's no evidence captured right now that these boats are actually as dangerous as they say they are. And even if these were drug boats, criminals are also given due process. Criminals are also given due process. So when you're just blowing up boats, dropping bombs on people, you are violating the way in which legal proceedings happen. If you have a boat coming that quote unquote has drugs, you capture and seize the boat. You capture and seize the people on the boat. You bring them in for questioning. You at least gather some intel on, are these boats carrying drugs? And then you go to trial. That's how these things are supposed to go. But I'm not surprised because this administration has been violating due process all damn year. So, the article from NPR reads, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says the Defense Department is reviewing the video of several September 2nd strikes against an alleged drug boat off the Venezuela coast to determine whether it will be released to the public. The September 2nd attack and the decisions that led to it have come under growing scrutiny by lawmakers in recent days, prompting calls for the footage to be made public. But Hegseth says national security officials must first determine whether revealing the video could endanger ongoing operations. How could a video showing y'all blowing up a boat hinder ongoing operations? I have no idea. The article continues with, we've got operators out there doing this right now. So whatever we were to decide to release, we would have to be very responsible about. So we're reviewing that right now. He said Saturday during an appearance at the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library in California. President Trump previously said he would be willing to release the full video, but that he didn't know what it included. As of, I think today, he has actually decided to say he never said that. He called ABC fake news for bringing up and suggesting that he said that. And the article right now is even saying he said that. He's also on footage saying he would release these videos, but very much like the Epstein files, he's now saying he don't know about none of that, and y'all lying on him. Y'all lied on him. Democrats and some Republicans have grown frustrated with the administration for its campaign of boat strikes in the Caribbean conducted without congressional approval. Okay, so the Congress has not agreed, has not approved none of this shit. In the September 2nd strikes, the military conducted a second strike on several crew members who survived the first strike. I'm gonna say that again because I got my words a little slurred. I want to make sure y'all hear me clearly. The initial attack had survivors, the first bomb, right? However, the military conducted a second strike on the same boat, leading to criticism that the Trump administration had killed people who no longer posed a threat. Hegseth said he authorized the first strike, but that military commander, Admiral, I don't know the military terms, y'all. Admiral, I think that's Admiral Frank M. Bradley approved the second. As of today, the debate of who did it, did Trump approve it? Did Pete? Did he? They've been saying so many different names. Somebody going down for this because this one is a crime. Let's just start there. Let's just start there. But as of today, December 9th, Hegseth has also been there's been 2 letters of impeachment or articles of impeachment proposed against him for murder and also Signalgate, that group chat where he was just dropping the coordinates, dates, and times and how they was finna go ahead and do some murders, and he just had it in a group chat. So I'm going to pause there on the article. Please, again, go ahead and peruse that a bit further for y'all understanding. But y'all, I don't know what else I need. When you have a whole Department of War who are willing to blow some shit up, not once, but twice, then ask questions later, y'all need to be concerned. Now, I don't want to fear monger on this space because fear is false evidence appearing real. And y'all, at the end of the day, God said high and look low. Okay, I'm not fearing. Fear mongering is the very last thing I'm trying to do in this space. But I want y'all to be understanding and I want y'all to be attentive to be prepared for things. Because every single thing this administration does and continues to do has an impact on you either now or in the future, whether you know it or not, whether you're paying attention to it or not. The way this administration continues to move, very, very, very similar to the Nazi regime. I don't know why y'all only have the era of that regime from the gas chambers and the Holocaust specifically, like the actual camps and all that, but y'all are not thinking about the buildup, the foundations that were laid. This administration has moved so quickly this year, and has removed so many rights. Just picking them. They're using buzz articles and shit that you know crazy to distract you from stuff, and then simultaneously doing things while you sleep, literally. This administration done played with y'all food this year. This administration is playing with y'all health care. This administration done played with equal access rights, equal opportunity rights. This administration has played with sexuality rights. This administration has literally played with your freedoms, your speech, your Second Amendment. This administration has played with so much shit. And for some reason, people are on TV, social media, artists are just having debates. Just talking about, is this right? Is this okay? What are y'all going to do? What are we going to do? And I'm saying y'all because y'all, I'm going to be good. Me, mine's going to be good. Believe me that. But when I say we in danger, girl, like, it's spooky. And I'm not just concerned with the longevity and well-being of this country, but y'all need to also understand there's a globe of people. There's other countries. There are actual threats to the U.S. democracy internally and externally. This brainwashing that we have that America is first and America is the best and the greatest and the brightest and the biggest and all of this shit. Y'all, a lot of damage is being done that will take decades to repair. And it's stuff like this that continues to mess us up even further. So I'm just, again, going to continue bringing y'all this information, but I do just want us to know ignoring these things don't matter. I'm talking to you and you over there. Just ignoring this stuff, seeing the hell. I said, I'm going to continue scrolling. I'm going to go ahead and go to this. I'm going to go to the club today. Okay. My advice right now, if you ain't making a lot of money on, because some of the things that they've done this year ain't even going into effect yet. So in 2026 roll around, and I'm gagging because this is the first year in a minute I ain't heard a lot of y'all say I'm waiting for my money for the next year, 2026. That's gonna be my year. 2026 gonna be my year. What? I ain't seen nothing. The meme of that black lady going up the stairs into the next. I ain't seen nothing. It's a given. We scared. Did we learn our lesson this year? It's giving worried. And I'm laughing because y'all, this is truly a key, but y'all, we are in some shit to come ahead. So just please be attentive. We'll see how this go. Again, even though articles came forward to possibly impeach him, I think it's very unlikely that he will be, because again, there's a supermajority when it comes to Republicans and stuff right now. So him actually being held accountable is very unlikely. Just like with the president, I just don't see it. I just don't see it. But hey, new things happens every day. So y'all stay up to date with what's going on. And to all my international folks, if you are in the United States, check in on your peoples. Check in on your people. Stay safe. Know your rights for those documented and undocumented. And y'all play that game. The niceties, and this is the part I've been really dragging the Democrats for, the niceties, all that shit out the window. All that shit out the window. I'm still maintaining my moral and ethical high grounds. I really, really am trying to stick to those pieces because that's just moral compass for me. But I really feel like it's time to get in the field. And if people want to play, I can act. Okay? If people want to Tyler Perry play, we can get up in here and act the fool. Act the fool. So with that being said, we're going to go into our last story. All right. So y'all, for our last topic of the day, we are going to go ahead and get into this commentary specifically around the fact that Ms. Jasmine Crockett is launching her bid for United States Senate, specifically in Texas. So y'all know Jasmine Crockett has been in the news so much. There's so many think pieces and articles on this lady, all because of how she talks. Not because of the policy she puts forward, not because of the things she advocates for, but because of the way she talks. Got the same thing with Kamala Harris. I think Kamala Harris brung to the forefront for a lot of white people what code switching was. A lot of white folks be thinking she just changed her voice and changed her words. They didn't know what that was. They made fun of her laugh. They felt she was incompetent, literally standing next to Donald J. Trump. A lot of things. A lot of it rooted in misogyny and just simply people not liking black women. But a lot of the same thing is applicable to Jasmine Crockett in the way people are discussing her. People, all that kind of stuff, are really dragging those very same points that they have from Kamala Harris. But people are also just really critiquing the way she approaches stuff. They don't like the fact that she be yelling at people. They don't like the fact that she be cussing. They don't like the fact that how she presents herself. And in my mind, I've always said this, especially when it comes to white folks. Love on my white people out there. But this is just one thing I've observed. When it comes to like, what's the word I'm looking for? Vulgar language. For some reason, that is a, whoa there. Specifically for white folks. No, don't get me wrong. Black folks got that same thing, not too much. But I've never seen so many people villainize the way we talking and not villainize the reason why we're saying what it is we're saying, right? If you punch me in the face and I look at you and I cuss you the fuck out and you get upset at just the language that I used, not the fact that I got punched, that confuses me. Right. I also get very confused at the way this woman is so tone police when you have, again, a president who gets on national TV and calls everybody names. He called everybody names. Child, he called fake news. Are you stupid? Piggy. All of this stuff. And nobody says anything to him. But she come and call somebody a bleach blonde, body built, whatever she said. And now she's just the most disrespectful. Oh my God. We have to stop this, and actually get to the root. If what you're saying has validity, whether you yelling it, whispering it, or cussing up a storm while you're saying it, your point is still valid. That whole, you're crashing out. No, dumb hoe. Using words to further explain and drive home points does not mean you crashing out. Raising your voice with stupid people who are who are not putting two and two together, realizing that you're standing on business, clocking that you're standing on business, is not the issue. But the issue is people are not getting the fact of the danger that's happening right now. And I would much rather have a woman like Jasmine Crockett defending a district, a space, a city, a town, a damn state the way she is, compared to all the other shit happening that's making her respond the way she's responding. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and read the article. It just reads Democratic Representative Jasmine Crockett announces U.S. Senate bid in Texas, tells Trump, I'm coming for you. Oh, that's a cue. I just heard Nicki Minaj's voice. I'm coming for you. Okay, so Democratic Rep Jasmine Crockett launched a campaign Monday for the U.S. Senate in Texas, telling President Donald Trump, I'm coming for you, and bringing a national profile to what could be a critical race for Democrats' long-shot hopes for reclaiming a Senate majority in next year's midterm elections. Crockett, one of Congress' most outspoken Democrats, a frequent target of GOP attacks and a Trump target, which she is. Trump has directly called the lady out by name, calling her a low IQ person, stupid, idiotic, all this kind of stuff. Jumped into the race on the final day of qualifying in Texas. She is seeking the Senate seat held by Republican John Cornyn, Cornyn, who is running for re-election in the GOP-dominated state. As a candidate who is constantly attacked and seen as a threat, it's because I am. Eat that up. Crockett told supporters in Dallas, I'm the only one who has gone toe-to-toe with Donald Trump, and there's a reason he's always got my name in his mouth. Democrats need a net gain of 4 Senate seats to wrest control from the Republicans next November, when most of the seats up for re-election are in states like Texas that President Trump won last year. Democrats have long hoped to make Texas more competitive after decades of Republican dominance. Cornyn, first elected to the Senate since 2002. Damn. 2002 is facing the toughest GOP primary of his career against Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton and U.S. Rep. Wesley Hunt. 2002 is crazy. All right. Well, I'm going to let y'all go ahead and get into that article too from AP News. But y'all, I just wanted to share that. I don't have a lot of commentary on that one. Y'all go out and vote, because the importance of voting is critical. And I know people be saying, your vote don't matter, the system's all da. I was the same way. I voted now, don't get me wrong. I voted since I've been eligible to vote. However, the thought process that your vote may not matter, I can very much understand, especially if you're a person of color and you're in communities that are marginalized, and you see representation that doesn't look like you defending your spaces, and you also are in communities and spaces that hasn't changed since you've been a child. So the mindset that your vote don't matter is very much understandable. But I would love to counter that thought process that if your vote didn't matter, right, if your voice was so insignificant, why do so many sit around tables and literally strategize, just like they did with redlining, ironically, to keep you in pockets, to make sure you don't have access to polling locations, to make sure in order to get to that location, you got to take 2 buses, a train, and a motherfucking plane. If your voice did not matter, why would so much work go into block it? That's the part I want y'all to really think about. So go out and vote. They're literally doing gerrymandering. A lot of red states are doing gerrymandering and are trying to flip spaces. And make it, again, there are some states want to make it a race-based thing. That's where we are. That's really where we are. So when I say y'all need to be in these streets, not just for the presidential elections, that's important. But if you want to see immediate change, if you want to see things shift in your city, in your state, if you want state regulations to make more sense and more applicable to you, that's where you have to be on the ground. Governor, mayor, you get what I'm saying? Congress, all of these seats, all of these local seats are what you're going to see impact in your daily life for. The president can do oh so much, but a lot of the work that gets done in a specific state, in the city, in the district, is based off of your local officials. So go vote. In Texas, I'm wishing y'all luck. Because, child, there's a lot of shit going on down there. All right, so with that being said, that will conclude our political segment. Y'all stay safe, stay informed, read, because Google is free. All right, y'all be safe out there. All right. Moving right along. How do I want to do this? I'm going to do the smaller story first. It ain't smaller. It's just I feel like it won't be as talkative. So I'm going to start with Warner Bros. Is up for sale. So yes, Warner Brothers is up for grabs, y'all. Now I have this article here from AP News. And when I say the numbers and amounts of things I'm about to discuss will be astronomically inconceivable for some. But for not even for some, for most. Okay, when I say a lot of people can't comprehend $1 billion, I am interested in seeing people conceptualize 72. Okay, so these numbers I'm gonna be saying will be crazy, but understand these are whole corporations. So, what is happening? Okay, so the headline reads: Paramount goes hostile in bid for Warner Brothers, challenging a $72 billion offer by Netflix. So the article reads: Paramount on Monday launched a hostile takeover for Warner Bros. Discovery, initiating a potentially bruising battle with rival bidder Netflix to buy the company behind HBO, CNN, and famed movie studio, along with the power to reshape much of the nation's entertainment landscape. All right, keep that in your mind. I'm gonna say that one more time: with the power to reshape much of the nation's entertainment landscape. Control the narrative. I'm going to continue. Emerging just days after top Warner managers agreed to Netflix's $72 billion purchase, the Paramount bid seeks to go over the heads of those leaders by appealing directly to Warner shareholders that with more money, $77.9 billion, and a plan to buy all of Warner's business, including the cable business that Netflix does not want. Paramount said its decision to go hostile came after it made several earlier offers that Warner management never engaged meaningfully with, following the company's October announcement that it would be open to selling itself. In its appeal to shareholders, Paramount noted its offer also contains more cash than Netflix bid did, with $18 billion more, and argued that it's more likely to pass scrutiny from President Donald Trump's administration, a big concern given his habit for injecting himself in American business decisions. So to break that down, basically Paramount feel if they are in ownership like they did with CBS and all that other stuff that was happening a little bit earlier this season, basically they feel Trump will let them kind of slide a bit more than Netflix, because Netflix doesn't have an allegiance to Donald Trump, but Paramount does. And now they're trying to use that as a bargaining chip. I'm going to let y'all go ahead and get further into that article, but I put this in here for Let's Talk About It with King, because I think this segment really does, again, talk about things going on in the pop culture, entertainment space, but I also like to drop in some alternative thought points. Some alternative thought points is the word I'll say. I highlighted a phrase earlier reading that article where I said that this deal, whoever purchases this business will be able to control a large portion of the country's media intake. Keep that in mind while Paramount is also trying to flex the fact that they have an inside kudos with Donald Trump, who has already, with other media outlets, including Paramount and CBS, that was just purchased by Paramount, has already put himself in the middle of those things, has already tried to influence media, news outlets, things like that, to be more pro-Trump, and has literally tried to ban people from criticizing him. So when you have an understanding, let's use some intuitive thinking here, friends. When you have a person moving like that, you can infer that there may be some propagandized media that come through the platform that agree with him. There may be some propagandized media that comes out at different levels for kids, teenagers, adults, that get you to think a certain way. And as I've told you before on this show, propaganda really does work. I know people like to think we too smart to get caught up in propaganda. We are in a world. This is before AI that propaganda worked. So much so it made people conspiracy theorists for saying shit that had actual root in reality. Don't get me wrong, conspiracy theorists are very much still a thing. But a lot of information, from the alien stuff to the Epstein files, at a point in time was considered conspiracy. And as time continues to go on, you're shown that was actually a fact. The CIA done classified it. The documents done showed it. Here's the evidence type shit. You get what I'm saying to you? We are now in a world with AI. I'm going to say that one more time. We are now in a world in AI where you're able to upload your face to AI systems that will generate whole videos, whole TV episode moments, whole voice scenarios, whole little snippets that are not real. There are pages on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter that are literally all content of AI generated things that have no basis in reality but mimic things that are real. It looks real. It looks authentic. So it would be naive to think that media won't be manipulated in some way. And those manipulations are often led by the people who control them. So, as this show continues to go on, I would love and encourage all of y'all to continue to think deeper. Think deeper. Be discerned. Because we are in a world where you're going to have to tell the real from the fake. Literally and metaphorically. And I'm really concerned that at some point, as we continue uploading content, even as I put these podcast episodes out and utilize the internet and all that shit, it's a lot of ways for people to manipulate stuff. And it's some spooky shit. And I do feel at some point we're going to have some nationwide case. Mark my words. Mark my words. I'm saying it on December 9th at 10:19 p.m. You're going to have a scenario, a countrywide or possibly worldwide situation, case, opportunity moment, where somebody is going to have to defend themselves against a piece of media that is not them. At some point, somebody is going to be the Project Zero. And it's going to set a precedent for all the things to come. It's going to start the regulations and all this stuff. Somebody is going to have a case where they're defending themselves against content, a video, a voice recording that is not them. And we will be able to see it play out in a world stage. And at that point, I think that's when it's going to sit in with people like, hold on, bitch, if they did it with that person, this could happen to me. So I just want y'all to understand the power of control and the power of narrative. Ooh, that's the word. Power of narrative. And as the sale continues to go on, I'm gonna keep y'all updated on who end up getting it. But I want you to understand that it's all about controlling a narrative, and this is also one of the 14 points of fascism, media control. And they've already made negotiations with Trump to make alterations on CNN to make it more pro-Trump. So I'm just telling you what's going on right now, and if it's happening now, you can infer it either will continue to grow or become more meticulously disguised and still have it behind the scenes. With that being said, on to our next story. All right, I'm gonna put this in here. Depending on how long this section takes, it might be our last story for Let's Talk About It with King. But y'all know we gotta get into it. Have y'all seen this Diddy documentary? I want y'all to know and understand how serious this is, okay? I have notes. I have notes, okay, from this documentary. Y'all, I put this thing on. I didn't watch it when it first came out. I really paid attention to Netflix for a good, week or two. And I was one day just scrolling through social media, and I kept hearing about this Diddy documentary. And I'm like, okay, y'all, it's just a documentary about this man. This motherfucker gonna go to jail in a minute. I'm really over this man. And I've been covering the story and the case and the trial all year since last year. Covering the story and all of that of the trial case and the conclusion and the jurors and the verdicts and all this other stuff. So I felt a little more, because I've been paying attention to the whole thing. So I'm like, okay, I'm over it. I started putting up my Christmas decorations and stuff, and next episode we will have our Christmas theme set for sure. I was putting up my tree and stuff, and I'm like, okay, I'm finna be sitting here for a little bit. I got all these decorations and stuff, so let me turn something on the TV and make me a little drink. Shout out to the French 75, and got to going, right? So I'm watching a documentary, and from the jump, I say, yeah, let me go ahead and take some notes, because, I got to bring it to Royal motherfucking Voices. So I want to say this before I go into everything. The situation regarding Diddy is being discussed on this show, not because of the shock value, but also because of the impact I really do feel this has, not only on creatives but on the industry itself, and because I feel it's important for us to discuss things that are not right. When you condemn things publicly, it starts creating this narrative that these things are not okay. And I thought we were all on the same page that these things were not okay, but the way this country has been going these last few months since the presidency and all of that stuff, I'm really shown a lot of people disagree with that. So I think it's important that we get on these platforms, we get on these spaces, and we use our voice to condemn vile and sick, OD crazy shit. So let's just jump right into it. I got a lot of notes. So the thing I want to say about this whole documentary in an objective view, this was a really, really, really well put together piece. So I have to shout out to Mr. Petty Messy Boots, 50 Cent. Shout out to him. And also shout out to, I believe her name is Amanda. Let me go verify. Who put the Diddy doc together. Now, 50 Cent was a individual who executively produced this documentary, which is what I'm saying, he messy boots. But it was executively produced by 50 Cent, Alex Stapleton, Stacey Scripter, David Carabinas, Ariel, Bronzell Brad Bernstein. It was also, I'm trying to find the lady's name because her name is like, I want to say Amanda. It was directed by Alex Stapleton. Alex Stapleton was the director. Her name was not Amanda. It was Alex. I think her name was like Alexandria or something like that. But yeah, Alex Stapleton. And then the cast. I do want to go down this list. I'm not going to go in case by case. I'm going to just let y'all know who was all in this documentary from names that you may know. So Kalina Harper, who was part of not Diddy Dirty Money, but was part of was it Diddy Dirty Money? What's her name? I done came up in a little bit so cynical. Them girls, that's what I'm going to about. Kalina Harper, Aubrey O'Day, who was part of Making the Band, Eric Sermon, I'll Be Sure, shout out to I'll Be Sure, Mark Curry, Lil Cease, Greg Cadding, Roger Bonds, Capricorn Clark, Kirk Burrows, Tim Dog Patterson, Joy Dickerson Neal, Clayton Howard, Rodney Lil Rod Jones, William Lesney, Roxanne Johnson, and Brooklyn Babs. So, spoilers ahead. I want to say that before I go into all this stuff. Spoilers ahead. If you don't want to hear what's going on, pause this, come back to this a little bit later after you watch the documentary. It's 4 episodes. I think each one is like an hour long. Go get into it because it's a good watch. But it was put together very, 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 very well, very objectively. It gave a space that, you know, it wasn't flat out just saying this horrible person, but it gave you a story arc from I think like the late 80s. Well, not even that, but like going up into his childhood, like from him being a child to his mom to going to being an intern to, you know, getting fired from that and all this stuff. It was a very good progression that kind of showed you the way Diddy was cultivated. And I say cultivated because I think there was a lot of external influences in this man's life. And one thing that I was very much clear in seeing when it came to the documentary was this is a hurt man hurting other people. That don't justify shit, but that saying of hurt people is very real. And this documentary kind of showed that from the childhood just up to him being, you know, sentenced and all this stuff. So it opened up with him kind of looking like he was panicking. He was on the phone and he was basically like telling his team, his lawyers, Mark Agnafili, I think his name is, telling his lawyer like, hey, we need to get some shit going. The narrative is getting crazy. I need people who can deal with the dirtiest of dirty stuff. I need some people good in strategy and propaganda. And basically he broke down like, yeah, most people are on TikTok. I need to control the narrative. I need to make sure that we just basically have a spin on all of this. And out the gate, you're kind of just shown like, even, and this was happening 6 days before he was arrested. This going on kind of showed he was trying to really dodge responsibility the whole time. I didn't get not once throughout that whole documentary that he was actually scared or worried or concerned of getting caught. He was more so worried and concerned with how it made him look. It was more so worried and concerned with like, these may have some merit bases, but I just want to control the narrative of how it's being framed more than anything. And he poured a lot of resources into lawyers, the sourcing of people to speak on his behalf. He was calling people. He was doing all of this stuff that really just gave the understanding like he's just trying to duck some smoke from the sounds of it. Now, him growing up, I feel like he was groomed by his mom because he was, you know, introduced to a life that, you know, children shouldn't be in. You know, he said he would be out to like 2, 3 in the morning. His mom was a sex worker and stuff like that. So I think he was involved in spaces that he was too young to be in as a child. And two, his mom would throw these parties. So that's where them freak offs originated from, was with his mom. And the relationship that they had growing up was odd. And the way he would like try to emulate his mom and the women that he would be talking to or dealing with was also a little uneasy. I also feel like he was groomed by a few other people, including Clive Davis, who had all of 15 damn seconds in this motherfucking documentary. And his first boss, I don't want to say he was groomed by him. I think his name is Andre. I don't think he was groomed by him, but I think a lot of the tactics of business that are the more unethical aspects of business, I feel started there. And I'm saying that because, you know, the world of entertainment, the business world, is a very much dog-eat-dog world. And even when you're going for like a collegiate degree, in anything business related, you usually have to take an ethics course, because the way business can be conducted locally, globally, can be done in a variety of ways. And the ethical approaches, the legal approaches to a lot of things are messy. So bribery, intimidation, price gouging, all kind of things. These are yes, some of them are illegal, but a lot of the gray of the business space is not necessarily illegal, but questionably morally and ethically problematic. And I think that's where that energy came from. I also learned very, very early on, as he kind of moved through his life, like I said before with Trump, Diddy was really a kid who was a little nigga who wanted to feel big. And the way he moved around, he knew he couldn't beat your ass. He knew he couldn't run up on you for real, but he knew he was smarter than the people in the room. Where people will manipulate, where people will instigate, where people will make you think a decision is your own. These are all mind games, right? And people can do these ethically as well, you know, do them for a good cause, do them for the right reasons. But in Diddy's sense, it was more so to make him feel bigger than how he felt he was. It gave insecure, but he wanted to be respected. He wanted to be this person that can't be fucked with. Even though he couldn't beat your ass, he wanted to have friends who could. Even though he couldn't, run you down, he wanted to have the feeling that he could. And he would create scenarios and spaces that kind of created intimidation, that created fear. Like his co-founder, who mentioned one day, because his co-founder had owned 25% of the record label, and he came in with a bat talking about some sound over your 25% now. You know, like standing over him and all these kind of things. Like, the way he was moving was he wanted you to be in a space of worry and concern, just like when it comes to the administration, where it's like you don't know the level of impact. And the way he operates, basically, if he don't get his way, he makes sure he gets his way. I'm gonna put it that way. That's the tone that documentary gave. Now, I also feel this attributed to his history of domestic violence as well, because there's no way that this man don't be beating on women. It went back so far, and it was prior to even the whole Cassie thing. It was evident he had this side of him that he felt dominant in. And the way he was brought up, a lot of the TV he watched, the movies he watched, the environments he was around, condoned, supported, shaped that. So as the documentary continued, I low-key feel, another part that I feel like I got to talk about too is that I feel like he really hired this crew of people to follow him around with a camera, because he was planning on making his own documentary. I believe that for sure. And the way 50 Cent got this footage, I'm interested in, because there's been some of the clips that was released by YouTubers a few months ago, which is questionable. Like, I don't know how long this was in the works for, but I do believe it was evident that he was planning, Diddy specifically was planning to create his own documentary, which again goes on brand with the narcissistic thing. I do also want to say, and I'm saying my words how I'm gonna feel. If you feel about it, I don't know what to tell you. But y'all, this man very much had some correspondence, interaction, involvement in the deaths of Tupac and Biggie. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. That part of the documentary, child, my spirit was everywhere, and I felt it was like the bullshit was just going off. But every time, even before the documentary, when I was growing up and I would hear the stories and the affiliations and even music, people like Eminem, 50 Cent, there's people who have already made statements about how they believe this man was involved. That documentary shows how he was in the mix. And when you have people with egos like that, when you have people in spaces who, especially in business, when you want to work with somebody and they just telling you, nah, fuck you, basically, I don't want to work with you, I don't give a damn, and you feel insulted, y'all, the way in reach people will go to lengths of when it comes to business is diabolical. And we have to get out of this mindset that because you think you know somebody, and I don't understand how y'all think y'all know celebrities and ain't met one of these hoes in y'all daily lives. Don't got nobody phone number, don't know where none of people live, but you swear up, down, left, and right, people are incapable of things being accused of them. That mindset is very dangerous because you don't even see the threat coming, baby. But I really do think he had something to do. And I will say, I don't think he pulled the trigger clearly, but I wouldn't be surprised if he made a phone call, a little text, a little held open the door. You know, it's evident that he had something to do with it, despite him saying he did it. Allegedly. I'm saying allegedly. Allegedly, he said he didn't do it. But allegedly, I do feel he had some involvement there. And that documentary very much showed that. And then too, during the whole funeral thing with Biggie, and how people were saying Diddy used Biggie's money to pay for his funeral, but then took credit for, you know, paying for the funeral. I also found it a key the way that the story progressed after Biggie passed. All of this like sympathy tour that was going on with Diddy specifically, and song releases and all of this stuff. It just gave very orchestrated. And not because of the way the documentary was posed, but because just I don't know, the feeling that I had watching this documentary the whole time, my spirit was just thrown. And I could tell parts where certain things was bullshit, but I could tell parts where it was like, okay, all right, you getting close to something. You getting close to something. And that just kept going the whole time. I do want to say, I told y'all his sons was helping him. The amount of clips that showed Justin specifically, that I will say I was assuming, and I still feel too, because the dark skinned one, he's also in the documentary too, and they're sitting there and their dad is telling them, yeah, you know, we got to figure out, because God told me not to do anything, but God still ain't revealed to me yet what y'all need to be doing. And that was another thing that kind of confused me too, this whole comparison to Jesus and this God sent light, that he's just this God ordained person. Yeah, but his sons was very in the mix, specifically Justin. And allegedly, he was at a lot of these events, specifically the freak-offs, with his dad. So I just want to state, you know, I do feel he had compadres with him, and I do believe they were his niños. Very much so. Very, very much so. But then back to this God complex thing, he very much had a God complex. And I like the way he was just talking about the equivalency of him and Jesus. Oh, it's like Jesus learning how to walk on water, and, you know, Jesus sent me here, and God told me not to do anything, but God told y'all to do all this other stuff. It gave spiritual psychosis. It was a little spooky, but it wasn't unfamiliar, because that's the trait of narcissists. And unfortunately, I know a few narcissists, and that's what I think the documentary was standing out to me. I know people like him. Child, I've had people in my life who act like him, and a few who have done some fucked up shit, who is locked away and need to be locked away right now. Hello, somebody. saying no names. I'm keeping peace. I'm saying is people like that have the same characteristics, in hearing the comparison to God and Jesus and all this unmatchable things. It was so on brand. Okay, so that stood out to me. Now I do want to make it clear. Okay, before I go into this last part of this topic, the documentary was good. It gave a lot of good insight. Showed the life of Diddy. Showed the progression of just, because a lot of things happened to that man. I really, really do believe. It shed some light on things we may not have had perspective of or didn't think about. It had a few new pieces of information that the public has never seen before. And I do want to note the fact that something, because I have to acknowledge it. I've been saying on social media, so I have to acknowledge it, that something is driving 50 Cent specifically to operate and move how he's moving, as petty and as intentionally as he's moving. Okay, now, once this got released, as it went to number one on Netflix, it beat out Stranger Things. So shout out to 50 Cent. You know what I'm saying? But I would be remiss in believing and not saying that there's ties. Something here is intentionally motivating 50 Cent to be this petty. And I'm saying petty because what I feel he's doing, I don't feel it's wrong. And one thing we have to understand with the documentary, like I said before, it was objectively created. It gave room for speculation. A lot of the footage that was shown and things like that was shown was also countered with the proceedings of the case, and some of the information that was shared saying it's been denied by Diddy, it's been denied by XYZ. So it was very it was very balanced, very, very, very balanced. Now, what I want to say is I think there are some things we need to address as a country and as a black community. So black folks, come forward, black folks, and sit still for 1 second. I'm going to do the group first, and then we're going to get to my people. Collectively, this is some crazy shit, okay? Collectively, we should all be 10 toes against sexual violence, trafficking, rape, assault, we should be 10 toes all on one motherfucking page, that if you're doing these things, you need to be held accountable and in my opinion, thrown underneath the damn jail. Now, I'm at my black people right now, and specifically my black men and black women, but mainly my black men. This condoning nature we have for fuck niggas is a problem. I don't know how you watched that documentary and had not an inkling that this man did anything wrong. I don't understand how you could watch this documentary and say to yourself, all of this is bullshit. These are just lies. The same way I said with Trump. It baffles me. But my black men specifically, my black community specifically, this is a bigger issue. And this documentary response that I've been seeing on social media is showcasing the very problem with the black community today. We sit in quiet and silence when fuck shit is going on, when sick shit is going on. And I'm not taking from a moral high ground. These things exist in almost every black family, where we have this, and it's not just the family, it's the culture of what happens in my house stays in my house. If you know, you know. What happens in my house stays in my house. You told who about our business? These things are sick. These things are vile and need to be exposed. This whole narrative of, oh, y'all just trying to tear down a successful black man, shut the fuck up. And I'm saying that with my whole chest, shut up. I don't care if you got $5 or $25 billion. If you doing any of these things from any form of sexual violence, any of that, go to jail, go to hell. I don't care what party you is, Republican, Democrat, liberal, I don't give a fuck. This is sick. And people are harmed. People are being endangered. People are being literally killed because of these things. And because we have a culture that does not want to talk about these things, even among our own family members, is a problem. It's a problem. The amount of men I saw free Diddy, free Bill Cosby, free Tory Lanez. Y'all are sick. And this whole mindset of, oh, well, these y'all don't want to see, y'all should want to see black men arrested. We don't. I hate it. It breaks my heart because I hate the representation it sets the tone for globally. The way people look at us, believe that we are. The stereotypes it falls into, the statistics you contribute to. But wrong is wrong. White, black, orange, green, fat, skinny, tall, short, I don't give a damn. Wrong is wrong. Man or woman, I don't give a damn. Wrong is wrong. And because you don't want to sit and believe things or believe victims specifically, it's crazy to me. I understand some people be lying. Yes, when you get success and money and all that kind of stuff, hoes will make some shit up. Niggas will make some shit up. Yes. But the percentages, the likelihood of that happening is so minuscule. Do y'all understand how hard it is in court to prove rape? Or great for social media purposes? Do y'all understand how hard it is in court to showcase and provide evidence for sexual assault? These are not easy processes. With regular people, let's add on billionaires, millionaires, people with influence, platform. Do you understand how hard that is for people who to get on stands? Stories of them being violated? Whether you believe them or not, there are statutes of limitations on cases like these in some spaces. You have federal and state level restrictions on things. So sometimes the most you only can do is a civil court, legally. But also understand, even if you're convicted civilly, that just simply means you owe monetary compensation for the damages that have occurred and will not face jail time. Statute of limitations exist. So when you see people get on these stands, get on these spaces, listen. Okay, that's it. You can have your discernments and all of this stuff, but off the bat, immediately just assume people are lying. It's crazy to me. And I'm saying this is a black issue for sure because this is a culture and community in which I've grown up and I've seen it. It still exists today. But I'm saying this is a countrywide issue because I've been watching these political debates and stuff like that as of lately, back into my little groove of stuff. And the amount of people I've been hearing condone this activity. The amount of people I've heard who said they wouldn't believe the victim, they wouldn't believe the person if they said they did it. They need more actual evidence. Admittance of guilt is evidence, stupid. If we in court because you said I punched you in the face and you get a recording of me saying, yep, I punched him in the face. That is evidence. So this mindset, y'all want Handmaid's Tale so fucking bad, and it blows my mind. Treat women right. I just don't get it. The same thing happens to men too, don't get me wrong, but the vulnerability of women, the amount of women that have had these experiences is crazy. Do y'all know most women go to their grave, they die before they say anything about any of the harm that they experienced in their lifetime? They take these things to the grave, that they were violated, that they were harmed. They take it to the grave because of the social stigma we have around these things. So we really And I'm, again, my black people, we got to address this as a community. Y'all get so vocal, so vibrant when it comes to anything LGBT, but we'll sit at Thanksgiving with the uncle that, ooh, y'all will sit in spaces and make nice with people you know have done some sick shit. And I'm saying this to my community because I'm of the community. This is our space. This is our family. This is our environment. Fuck what the news is saying, all this space of feeling separate and D and all that. Fuck all that. If we are not willing to address the crazy stuff that happens in our homes, that happens in our family, cousins, aunts, uncles' faces, we are in danger of ourselves. And when I say, oh, I'm so blessed to be in an environment and in a space where I don't have to worry about my mama, my daddy, my sister, myself, that's a blessing. But the people who have experienced these things, when they have the courage to come up and say these things, the least amount of decency we can give is an ear and listen. Go gather evidence and all that stuff too. Verify these statements for sure. But I don't see why people would just joke about being assaulted. I don't see why people would make these things up because it's a regular Tuesday or because Shorty got money over there. Some people do. But for the most part, people be telling the truth. And unfortunately, they be in spaces where people don't want to hear all that. Y'all, the documentary was good. It was solid. It was strong. But it just really showed much more than just the horrors of Diddy. It was a lot of hurt in that documentary. It's a lot of pain in that documentary. It's a lot of unaddressed, undiscussed, and truly uncaptured things that I believe the documentary could tie to. And the biggest question I got is where your friends? Because birds of a feather flock the fuck together. In the same breath that y'all got tearing down black men, y'all need to realize that black man was surrounded by a lot of people. A lot of powerful, influential, paid people. And it's naive to think that money don't make this world go round. That money don't get people to be quiet. That money don't make things go away. That money don't get things. It was a lot of people not addressed in this damn documentary. Where it was just, I said it when I was at the Forbes conference a few days ago. Where is Jay-Z? Where is? I don't want to talk about comments. I ain't gonna say. No, I'm gonna say it. Where's Jay-Z? Where's Beyonce? Where's Mary J? Child, let's get into Nicki. Cause I forget she was signed for a little bit, right? I remember she was signed for a little bit. Where's she at? Where Justin? Where Usher? I got questions. But with all that said, the documentary was good. Along with the question of where everybody else at, I think the biggest thing the documentary showed was the amount of people that this touched. No Diddy. No funny shit. The amount of people that this situation, that this decades of stuff going on in the industry impacted. It had people careers, management, money, literal life. And I think the bigger conversation that needs to be had is the culture that condoned, supported, uplifted this space. Because another thing this documentary showed was the level of complacency people are willing to sit in to achieve their dreams. The level of silence people are willing to go through. This really reminded me of like I ain't gonna say that. I don't want to be sued by the orgs. But this really reminded me of what traditional hazing spaces are cultivated at. You broken down. You're made to think that you are inferior, less than. The shit amps up, and you just told to endure. This is it's just the way things are. And the amount of people who kept saying that in the documentary, this is just the culture of the game. Culture of the game. Culture of the game. Culture of the game. This is the culture of the game. If this is the culture of the game, it's more the people than Diddy. Because it's a game. Who are the other players? Who winning? Who losing? I got questions. I think this documentary opened up some shit. If you choose to look deeper. And I was telling to my line brother the other day that, I think more and more media continues to show the average person in the world, the person going to work 9 to 5, got to be in bed by 9, 10, get up ready for the work in the morning. I think this is showing and showcasing the stuff that's happening behind the scenes. We got to remember, these celebrities are not our friends. We don't know these people. Okay, we don't know these people. You can love XYZ person, love him, love her, but we don't know these people. That's why I tell y'all on here, when it comes to Nicki, y'all know I love Nicki Minaj. I do. But that right now, that motherfucker on time out. Because, girl, what the fuck is going on with you? Have you lost your marbles? You're on time out. And I can do that. Why? Because I don't know this lady. I like your music, but you're doing too much. So you're going over there. Simple as that. Simple as that. These your faves. Go over there. Move around. Distance yourself. Stop supporting that. Because the customers play a role in this too. And I'm saying customers, that's what we are. You're buying merchandise. You're buying music. You're buying ticket sales. You're buying video games. You're buying liquors. You're buying perfumes, colognes. You're buying nails. You're buying all of these things. And the money, the support you give to these creatives, to these artists, is what creates the artist, is what sustains the artist. So think about how these things are operating and remove yourself and condemn the sick shit you don't agree with. But all of this, y'all tearing down black men and all of that, all of this, we still gotta get some support. Y'all fanned out and y'all sick. Y'all need help. Y'all are deep in the juice. Y'all are deep in the Kool-Aid, baby. It's crazy. Even the jurors. Child, how you have a documentary with some jurors? One motherfucker fanned the fuck out. Shawty was fanned out. Well, I don't. I like the other people, like Day 26, but I knew Diddy. And it was a point in time where me and Diddy was like locking eyes. Like we was locked in. Like, he just crazy like that. Child, my spirit was so, when I watching that lady speak, my spirit was on fire. And I was saying it to myself, I got on Twitter, she was getting dragged. My spirit, child, them jurors were paid, allegedly. Oh, and then lastly, this is the last thing, I'm done. Y'all gotta give Jaguar Wright her flowers. I know it's a lot. She be saying a lot. She real theatrical. Real theatrical. But watching this documentary, I was truly gagging because so much of the content in that documentary, not all of it, but a lot of the content in that documentary she was speaking on years ago with real life street stars. Shout out to them too. Shout out to real life street stars who had the blue couch and put her on the blue couch. She been doing a little Zoom stuff as of lately, but she been speaking about a lot of these things. She went on national television with Piers Morgan and talked about these things. Y'all can call people crazy, conspiracy theorists, all y'all want. And a part of the algorithm is to create doubt. Yes. Part of the algorithm, a good lawyer, a good entertainment lawyer knows how to spin the fuck out of a story. Don't forget that very first line. We need help. We losing. We need people who good with propaganda and media manipulation. It happens. You can ignore it, think it's doing too much, think people tripping out. It don't make it any less real. You get what I'm saying? It don't make it any less real, baby. It don't make it any less actual. Your doubt don't mean shit, because it still happens, and people get paid to spin the narrative. And it was even said by Diddy himself, if you control the narrative, you control the story. We heard that from Netflix. We heard that from Warner Brothers. We heard that from Paramount. So, with that being said, I just want to make sure I gave Jack her flowers. That lady be saying a lot. I get it. But she did she lie? Did she lie? Y'all, I'm done there. I've been on this topic for a little bit because that documentary was a key. Again, it's about 4 hours. It's 4 different episodes. Get into that if you haven't already, because it's just a lot to unpack. And you can focus on the fact that it's about Diddy and the trial and all of that. But if you start pulling back some layers and just asking a few more questions, your brain get to, okay, how did this go on for so long that so many people knew about? It wasn't dismantled. Who don't we know about? Who was helping? Freak off parties, part T. It's more than one motherfucker. And these parties was been around for some, like the 90s. My mama remember trying to go to these parties with her friends when she was a kid. When she was a teenager, I'm sorry. When she was a young adult. Gotta clarify, because it's getting spooky in these streets. When she was a young adult, she never went to one. She never could make it to one because it was never in the state of Wisconsin. I'm in Wisconsin. So, and we ain't had the money for that. Well, she ain't had the money for that either. But that's what I'm saying. If my mom remember these parties being the talk of the town in Wisconsin in the 90s, and you saw these parties evolve, more and more people, Meek Mill, Dre, all these people, Marlon Wayans, who, child, get on my nerves. All of these people going to these events. And you telling me it was only Diddy motherfucking Sean Combs? You telling me he was the only one engaging in these laced, drugged baby oil containers? You're telling me he was the only one requesting escorts? You telling me he was the only one allegedly having intercourse with people unconsciously? I'ma stop. Y'all go watch the documentary. 10 out of 10 to 50 Cent. Petty. I would like to learn more as to what the motive behind that is, but y'all get into that and let me know y'all thoughts. Okay? We gonna stop. I'm going to stop there for our Let's Talk About It with King segment, because I was in that topic for a little bit. But moving right along to our last segment of the episode, which is creative advice. And y'all, I'm keeping it short and sweet today. My creative advice is not only for creators, it's people overall, but cherish the spaces in which you're in. Cherish the journey, cherish the moments, cherish the people. I'm going to clap it up for that. One thing that this Diddy documentary did show in a positive light is the way in which career can go from 0 to 100. What's admirable about this individual, about Diddy, like most people are saying, is the success of this black man and the mogul mindset Not necessarily all the crazy shit, but just the mindset that you can go for more and be more. That's a positive way of thinking when done with humility, which is, if you know, you know, the state or quality of being humble, freedom of pride, arrogance, and lowliness of the mind, and being politely submissive, realizing you have more to learn, realizing you ain't the biggest motherfucker in any room. You may be sometimes, but you're not ever going to know every damn thing. In the same way you feel you him in that room, somebody gonna show you it's more hims, it's more hers. God ain't stopped with just you. God gave a light to a lot of people, and when I say your light is bright, it's always another one. In the same way those lights get bright, those lights get dim, and at some point you have to pass that torch on to somebody else too. So while you're on that journey, from finding that light to building that light to shining that light so very, very bright to it growing its brightest to its fading out to it's gone, enjoy that ride. Enjoy the people that you meet. Enjoy the opportunities that you take and have and experience. Enjoy the moments where you fail. Enjoy the moments where you succeed. And be able to be reflective. Be able to be humble. Because God got a crazy way of doing it for you if you won't. Take care of yourself in your body, in your mind, in your spirit. A lot of these things all culminate into the person that you are and the artist that you become, the entrepreneur that you become, the mogul that you become. The way that you grow and elevate as an individual impacts the way your legacy is left. And y'all can either be like people who are fighting, who are so scared of being left behind, who are so scared of being forgotten, that they willing to do any and every damn thing to try to be remembered. It's a difference between infamous and being famous. It's a difference. The legacies are two different things. In a way that people are willing to compromise their morality and their ethics to achieve what they want to go to is something that you're going to have to deal with on your own. That's between you and God, child. But cherish the way that you experience things, because time moves fast. So I'm going to leave that there for our creative advice this episode. And I'm going to pass it on over to close us on out. All right. Y'all be safe out there. All right. So with all that being said, y'all, this concludes episode 17 of Royal Voices Podcast. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's crazy that the year finna be over in like 3 weeks. So I want to just take a second to say thank y'all for rocking with the kid all 2025. You know, a lot was learned this year about this business, about this podcast, about myself, about people around me, but just how I move as a person. And I'm excited to just implement a lot of those learnings that I've been taking away this year into the new year. I'm praying for the safety and well-being of people, the health and the wealth and the success of people, the peace of people in a world that's so chaotic. Y'all find something to root yourselves in. If that's you drawing, painting, reading a book, watching a movie, cooking, running, going to the gym, child, I don't care. Find something for you if you have not already in 2026. That's the biggest thing I think I learned this year is just like, you can't you can't fight every damn thing, child. And at some point, information overload, and internalizing a lot of that worry and concern is damaging. You know, so take your time to just disconnect. Turn the phone off. Get off the social medias. Okay? Sit with your friends. Sit with your family. Go travel. Go spend a little bit. Go enjoy life. Because so much of the world will convince you and tell you, and even some of the things here on this show, and like I said before in prior episodes, I apologize if I fear-mongered anybody, but a lot of these things can be so dampening. But the optimism we have to have as people is really critical. Yes, all this stuff is happening, but also no, you good. It's already handled. It's already done. So don't let the enemy win. Trying to distract you, get you scared, get you worried. Ignore that. And know your purpose, know your goal, know your objectives, and move accordingly. Kvngdom got a lot of things coming in 2026. I'm so excited. I want to shout out Monique, my girl Rebel, real quick. Just being part of that consulting space, and just the involvement she's had in such a short amount of time when it comes to the branding of Kvngdom, but also how I'm thinking about the space, how I'm thinking about this organization, how I'm thinking about this podcast, how I'm thinking about the events that are coming up, how I'm thinking about my music, all of this the framework she's provided. So shout out to her. More coming with Royal Voices clothing and stuff like that. Oh, I did want to say during Black Friday, a new line of Royal Voices podcast merch did drop. You can go ahead now and get into your Royal Voices apparel. You know what I'm saying? We also still got Kvngdom Essentials. Don't get me wrong. Let's get into that too. A few things have been added there. For my YNs out there, we got quarter zips now. Get into that too. Yeah. Go ahead and get your Kvngdom quarter zip today and elevate from them Nike tags. But yes, there's just so much coming. So I just want to thank y'all for supporting, engaging, interacting. Our last episode will be episode 18 coming in the next few weeks. So stay out tuned for that. And y'all just enjoy the rest of y'all year. Relax, reflect, set goals, do all the things. Enjoy the holiday season. And until next time, thank y'all for tuning in to Royal Voices Podcast, episode 17. And until next time, remember, we reign forever. Y'all have a good one.